It's winter 1737. This is Empire Total War, United Provinces, the Grand Campaign. You can see we're on absolute zero in terms of income at the moment because the Savoy fleet attacked us in Marseille, our major port, giving us 3 extra trading links, and we've been running our economy on the basis of that income. We've defeated the Savoy infantry that attacked us in Paris. Well, they didn't attack us, they besieged us, so we got some troops together from Alsace-Lorraine, joined them up with some from Flanders, and we've beaten them away from their siege lines. I'm now sending a spy down to, or a rake as they call it, to see if we can assassinate the general to make the job a little easier when we get there. At the moment we'd be taking on 1 infantry unit and 1 cavalry unit. It's probably your general's cavalry, and we really do need to clear these Savoyards out of France. These are the troops that we've moved across from Portugal, and we're just going to block up that area there between the coast and the mountain range, as you can see. So we're replenishing those troops as well, because Savoy does have a fairly decent sized army as well there. Okay, so we're using some of those troops to clear them out. Just 1 lot of cavalry and 1 lot of infantry. That ought to be enough to see them off fairly easily, I would have thought. Not a very interesting battle for you to watch, so I've just skipped through that one. You can see the results, of course. I didn't do it on an auto-resolve because they're likely to have got away, and then, like I said before, they'll be wandering around France damaging buildings. I've shown a couple of very large battles recently, so it would be asking a bit much for you to watch all of that all over again, I think, just for such a small encounter. Okay, that was me putting the Paris relievers back to where they came from. Now we're going to have a look over here now and see what the Marathas have presented us with this time. Another army. Remember, they've got lots and lots of resources and they're a sophisticated army, so nothing's ever going to be easy against them. We're having to come a little bit further across this time. If you remember, they were more central last time, so we could attack them with forces from both sides, or have one of them as a relieving force. This time we're going to have to come a bit further over in order to do that. So they're not stupid, are they, these Marathas? So anyway, I will bring some cavalry out. Cavalry should have the chance then to be able to get back after the encounter, but also I need cavalry in the battle because I want to clear away any routing infantry that I might have. This will be the 2nd army of Marathas that we've defeated in only 2 turns. Okay, so I'm just putting them on the edge of their zone of control there, sending in the main army again from here. We're getting quite depleted here, as you can see, but then, if you remember, we're not too worried about that because we've had an overblown economy, so really what I need to do is reduce the amount that we're spending by having a reduced number of mouths to feed, literally, in the army, really, I suppose. Anyway, I'll save you the setup time, as usual, keeping everything on the move, because he's got mortars again there, you can see them flying over. This time he's got 2 lots of mortars, we'll look at it, and the last encounter there was just 1 with artillery, and in fact I think there was only about 2 in there in the first place, so now we've got 3 coming over. Sorry, 2 lots of 3 coming over. And those are the reinforcements that were coming on the field as well, so I've spared you the setup of those and brought them more quickly into the battle. Okay, you can see the fire coming over from those mortars. That's why I'm keeping the troops on the move at all times. You know, what I do is I move them forward, and then before they've even reached that point, move them forward again and just keep moving them and moving them so that they've got a place to aim for each time. going to be another long battle, I'm afraid, because there's a large number of them and they're good quality troops, so I'm not going to be able to use simple tactics, lining up, shooting at them and attacking them from the flanks. That isn't going to work, I'm afraid. It's a case of being able to take those mortars out somehow. It's all about driving them back away from those mortars so that we've got the opportunity to attack them, and retaining some kind of a formation so we can get a decent line of fire against them while we do so. And also make sure that our formation isn't broken up by sudden individual attacks at various strategic points. It is important that you keep this line. I mean, breaking this up in any way, they'll just expose it like you've never known. So these are my cavalry that came on at the back end. They came on at the other side of the battlefield. They've already taken out one lot of cavalry. They're now exposed to another lot of cavalry there that's just being launched against them to keep them out of the battle, or rather hold them up for long enough for his infantry to be able to get up close to them. If you remember, his close combat infantry troops are pretty darn good. I don't know what sort of swords they are. I'm not sure if they're scimitars or not, but certainly they cut your cavalry to pieces when they get close enough up. They really do. And I think they get the charge bonus as well, you know, 13, 16, whatever it is. And they've got larger numbers than the cavalry have as well. So I'm just keeping away from them if I can. Get them all the way around and get them back to my own lines and use them as flanking cavalry. It makes sense that they're on the opposite side of the battlefield, of course, because they came from the opposite side of India. You know, these are the East Coast Indian Dutch, if you like, coming over to help the West Coast Indian Dutch. So anyway, you can see the mortars going in there. This is the thing when you're distracted with somewhere else on the field, which is the horse. You know, you've got to make sure that your infantry are on the move as well at the same time, and you don't allow that distraction to take your mind away from moving your troops forward at all times. Okay, sorry about the game pauses, but it's the only way to do it, I'm afraid, so I can keep a handle on everything that's happening at the same time. I've got grenadiers in reserve, so that if there are any gaps in the line, I can always jump them in at the correct strategic position. Notice I've got much more of a line formation. They're still quite dense, to be honest, but they're not column-like they were in the previous Maratha battle, and that's because he's kept his army all together in one place, so I don't need to be quite so flexible in moving things around. It's a much more linear sort of 18th century battle, which is what they should be, really. It's a shame, really, that the Marathas haven't got elephants. They did in one of the sieges. Do you remember when they sieged Ceylon? And they were quite fun, but it would be nice to have those back in the battle as well, wouldn't it? Be something interesting to look at on the field. And again, I apologise for lack of close-ups. It's so difficult to do when it's a battle of this size. The problem comes when you've got to keep an overall eye on everything that's going on the battlefield. I'm not sure how close mortars can fire near to themselves as well, actually. So, you know, the closer you advance, the more chance you've got of keeping away from their fire, I would hope. Okay, just one more minute of this video to go. I expect that this will certainly go on to another video, and I hope to have it completed by that one, because it looks fairly simple at this point, doesn't it? You know, it really does look as though, you know, that he's accepting a normal one-on-one competition here, you know, with the possibility of me being able to outflank him when the situation occurs. Looks like he's going for this horse here on this right flank, of course. If he leaves them alone for long enough, I'll go chase them. Anyway, perhaps we should pull those back. We'll see if we can reach them or not.